This is the first small group discussion with J. Krishnamurti in Madras, 1976.
Shall we wait for them or? I'd like to discuss something very seriously, which is what is matter? We just started this question just before I left with Dr. Bob. I hadn't time to go into it at all. I don't know, you're interested in this? Hello, Professor, are you interested in it? Come on, Professor. Another professor, they're all professors here. See, is everything matter? If that is so, there is nothing beyond matter. So that's what we would like to discuss. Would it?
Yes, very good, sir. But I think I will take that chair there, but I must see your face. Close the door.
Can we discuss this? Before?
Because others are coming. Yes, I think it's necessary to discuss.
Wish Radha was here too, because she's.
She'll be here for you.
Thought is matter. Get down.
Here comes, sir.
Specially place preserved for you. Discuss it.
Yeah.
Question everything. Wait a minute. I haven't started yet. Ghanshyam, you have to question me too, Professor. And you too, sir, and Radha, and the rest of us. We are discussing, Achaji, just began. What is matter? Don't turn it into nothing matters much. Most things don't matter. I don't mean that. What is matter? Is there anything beyond matter? And if thought is the material process, is a material process, then everything that thought has put together is matter. Everything that thought has put together. Not only technologically, but psychologically, and so-called an imaginative, unlimited, omnipotent, all that stuff. So, what is matter? Can it be described? And when there is a description of it, it's already become matter. Right, sir?
No, but I would like to.
I've just laid out.
I would like to say something. We are so easily accepting this.
I'm not. That's why I'm questioning it.
I'm questioning it. We know two things in consciousness.
Huh?
We know two things. We know objects. And we know thought.
Yes.
But there is also, we see certain things even though we can't visibly see them. The very fact of movement, the very fact which enables us to breathe, the very fact of which is not connected with any of these things and yet is part of our lives. Like when the atomic explosion took place, it was man-made, the bomb. But the explosion was not energy.
Man-made.
But energy released.
Energy released through matter by man.
Yes, but
Bob it out.
we must go into this very carefully, sir.
And that's why I want to go into
Energy released by all energy is that way. How do you?
No, we are beginning. So let's begin slowly. If I said, if thought is a material process, which I think most scientists agree. Wait, which we have been talking about for years. If thought is matter, is a material process, everything that thought has put together is a material process, including the atom bomb, which may release an energy which is the product of thought. So that energy may still be a part of matter. I'm not saying it is. I want to go into this. So, let us start from this. Do we accept that thought is matter, is a material process? Do we see this? Actually, not theoretically. Is it so? Is one's consciousness, which is a movement of time and thought, and the content of it is still, the content of it, or the contents of it, or the product of thought, then the whole movement of consciousness is a material movement.
I would like to ask you, sir,
Not sir, we're discussing.
Where is the source of attention then? Is it also matter?
When
you say the whole of consciousness is matter,
I wait carefully immediately. If thought is a material process, and thought has put the contents into the consciousness, and the consciousness is matter.
So you are making a difference between thought putting content into consciousness and consciousness
obviously,
without thought.
Obviously. Our consciousness with its content is a material process put together by thought.
But consciousness is the content.
Is the content, which is the content is the product of thought.
There is nothing else in
Nothing
consciousness.
Wait, I don't.
You have said this, that content is consciousness.
I do still
and
say
the
that.
whole of it is time and matter.
That would say that.
No, then we say there are many areas of experience which do not seem to come within this.
Tell me one.
Attention.
No, attention, how do you produce attention? What do you mean by attention? Is it a product of
Observation.
thought? Is it a product of thought?
It's not a product of thought.
Or will?
Will is willed. Therefore, it is thought, it is motivated. The person who wills is there.
So, if there is the action of will in attention, then
in attention, I am not talking about inattention.
Then please explain what you mean by attention.
Sir, it is very easy.
I don't know a thing
No,
about
but sir,
what?
this is taking it to the much more subtle stage. I say I move my hand from here to here.
What?
I move my hand from here to here.
Yes.
That movement is not a product of thought.
Of course it is.
If there is a decision to move it, it is a product of thought. But the factor which enables it to move.
That's a matter of nerves, attention, a desire, a sensation,
It's
comfort.
much more. There
What,
is-
nervous reaction?
There is a certain life force which you cannot.
I
bring in.
question, I want to question the whole
Between the
thing.
life and the dead, there is difference. You cannot.
Look, you are going off to something. Before, you see, you stretch it out so far that you can't get started. I start with something which is very clear. Thought is a material process. A process implies time and measure. So for thought is a material process, a movement in time and measure, which is contained in consciousness. The content of consciousness is put there by thought. Therefore, what we call consciousness is a material process. Full stop. That's all I say.
Yes.
That's all right, sir.
You accept this?
Sir, is that everything that is within the scope of time and space is matter,
Of course. I mean,
whether it is matter or energy.
I won't
It's
question.
a
No, sir,
material
you
process.
can't. You
I
have
think
to answer.
I'm going to answer him, but first let's be clear about what we are talking. He's asking something very simple. Is matter and energy separate or go together, inseparable. But first, Ghanshyam, do you see my point, sir? I think you would agree, you'd see the point that thought is a material process, right? Or would you question that?
One sense it is.
In what sense it's not?
Consciousness is not in space.
Consciousness, I know, but is it theoretical consciousness or actual consciousness? When are you conscious? Now, apart from theory, cut out theory. I won't indulge in theories and speculation. When are you conscious of yourself as consciousness? When there is pain or pleasure, which means strife, right? You become conscious consciousness becomes aware of itself when there is pleasure, pain, and all the rest of it, fear and so on. Those are the contents of our consciousness, right? And those contents make up consciousness. And so the whole movement of consciousness is a limited movement in time, measure, thought, which is a material process. That's all I'm saying. I won't move from there first, if you are clear.
Are you not oversimplifying this?
I'm oversimplifying it because I can make it terribly complex later, sir, but I want to start with something very simple. For God's sake, don't...
Can we say that thought has put the content into consciousness because thought itself is the product of that content?
It's
It's the same thing.
Interreaction. First thought, not first consciousness.
Content.
First thought, which is the total response of sensation.
The basic.
No, I'm not going to budge from this. I'm going to stick to it. You convince me.
What you are saying is that whatever is known or can be known is matter.
Yes,
Whatever is known or can be known is matter.
that's right.
I want to put it a little bit differently. Maybe that's better. I feel to say that thought is matter is a dangerous statement. I would say it's a material process.
I said, sir, I said material
It's a
process.
difference between saying material process and matter.
What
I
is the
said-
distinction?
I said
Chennai?
The distinction is that a material process is something that is going on in matter. But you see, when I learn something, that evidently brings about a change in my brain cells. So that is a material process. Therefore, that is a change in matter.
No, I said, look, Fritz, we said material process.
Yes,
Let's stick
yes,
to that.
Yes, okay.
As Achuji says, I've oversimplified it. But I want to start with this very simple basis.
So in oversimplifying, there is one little danger which I see, which I would like you to note and explain. Because as we know consciousness,
And,
if it
you know what, as we, no, you see, I refuse to accept it. As we know.
Consciousness is this.
yes,
No. When you say as we know, it becomes a theory.
no, sir.
No,
As
no.
experienced, it is very simple.
No,
So
sir,
as
you
we
are-
understand, as we
No,
experience.
no, I question as we understand.
How?
With what
But
point
sir,
of reference will you
what
say?
I would like
You
to
see the
say,
difference?
the way you have posited this question assumes that a consciousness, which is a material process, and the content of consciousness is consciousness, a material process, that there is some way by which this can be
Transform.
transformed.
That we come to that later.
We
But
have
in
not
fact,
come to that yet.
No,
But
but it's
what I
it's
feel is-
inbuilt in this statement.
No, what I feel is that you are making consciousness co-terminus with that which is known or can be known.
yes, that was.
That's what you are saying. But
I see.
that means you are already delimiting something whose horizons we do not know.
I think people, I mean, Achuji, you've made the thing so complex already. We are going beyond the point. which is I'm saying, do you see, observe for yourself, not we think consciousness is, that makes no meaning to me. Do you observe your own consciousness? And when are you aware of that consciousness? When there is only strife, or pleasure, or fear, and so on and so on. Those are all the movements of thought and time and measure. Right? Consciousness then is a movement in time and measure put there by thought. Full stop. That's all I'm saying.
No, it is the full stop I agree. Comma I agree. Semicolon I agree.
What is it you don't agree?
Sir, we have not penetrated the whole expanse of consciousness.
We're going to first. First, sir, you want the whole.
No, sir, I said I am accepting it as a comma or a semicolon.
No. You are waiting for something else. I thought.
No.
You are starting with that. You see, a statement is made that all consciousness is a material process.
Of course.
Do
you see that?
It's a statement.
It's a statement. Let's explore it, break it up. The statement, not go beyond the
A
statement.
statement. Now, for a statement to become, I'll use the word reality, though you use it in a different way.
Yes.
But for that statement to become reality, this consciousness must itself see this.
What?
This consciousness must itself see this.
It must itself become aware.
Of the totality.
Not the total. You see, I say begin with a small thing and we'll expand. We'll go into it enormously. There's a tremendous lot in
I
it.
agree.
But we start with a tremendous lot, we don't start with a little.
If we take it as statement and say, now let's...
That's all I'm saying.
Sir, when the thought becomes aware of the consciousness,
And
is the
not
product-
thought because. So when are you conscious of yourself? That's all. Huh? When are you conscious of yourself? When somebody hits you, verbally or physically, when there's pain or pleasure or fear or sorrow, and so that's it. It's only then you're aware of it. Otherwise you just go along. You're not saying, well, I am conscious.
But maybe
Yes, so consciousness is this.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
We started with
That's all I'm saying. So I'm adding some more to it. Thought is the movement of senses.
a reaction to the senses.
Sense, movement of sense, reaction, movement of the senses. Movement of the senses is fragmentary. I'm going to take it slowly. I haven't finished yet. When there is total, when all the senses are completely awake, there is no consciousness. When there's only fragmentation, there's consciousness. I'll explain.
That is so.
When there is only a fragmentation, there's consciousness. I'll stick to that. I've got it. I won't move from
when
it.
there is, yes, I
See what is implied in that?
that is so.
Yeah. Right? Right, sir?
I'm not sure yet.
Look, sir, we said senses are the movement of the senses is the beginning of thought, which is based on experience, knowledge, which is all movement. Now, that movement is fragmentary.
Because it leads to thought.
No, fragmentary. Of course, it leads to
Yes.
thought. It is fragmentary. When the senses are completely full, there is no consciousness as strife and not strife. What do you say, Professor?
I don't know that, sir. I
Sir,
don't know.
there are two professors here. So you're a professor, and he's a professor, and you're a professor too. No, you're very good enough as a professor. I'll give you the title.
We started with the first step as movement of senses as a fragmentary movement.
So
And as against the full movement.
our senses are never fully operating. Total senses. It's only partial senses are operating.
That itself is a result.
No, Dr. Parchure.
This is
Parchure, if you observe yourself, you will see when you're seeing, you're not listening. When you're listening, you're not seeing.
Quite right.
See,
So thought, when there is total awakening of the senses, there is no operation of thought. Therefore, it's not fragmentary. That's all. Therefore, consciousness then is not fragmentary, which it is now, because it's a product of thought. Got it. I won't move.
But what then is consciousness there in that moment?
Huh?
When the senses are fully awakened,
There is no movement.
so is there consciousness?
There is no consciousness as we say
That's-
consciousness.
yeah. So we would probably,
I-
it might be better to use another word in that moment, not call that consciousness.
I won't use another word. I won't use. I just want to stick to that. There is no consciousness as we know it.
there's no consciousness.
I know.
No,
No,
because
yeah,
once you introduce as we know it,
all right. There is no consciousness of thought.
As we
Thought.
define it.
No, there is no consciousness which thought has put
Yeah.
together.
there is no consciousness.
which thought has put together.
I don't know that. I say there is no consciousness because that is the state of attention in
I
which-
don't know. You are speculating now.
No, sir.
Are you aware? Please, people, this is very serious. Are you aware of the sea with all your with all your senses? When there is the total observation of total movement of all the senses, there is no consciousness. Full stop.
Is there anything like total movement?
And do first.
There may not be any.
You are not
Can't
missing.
understand
You are
this
missing.
unless-
You are missing the whole thing. You are trying to translate what I'm saying. You are not listening to what I'm saying.
It's not becoming a description.
That's all. Look, sir. First, let's start you on that. Thought is the result of memory, response of memory, experience, knowledge, stored in the brain. Brain is a matter, cell. So, thought is a material process, right, of time and measure, more or less, comparative, all the rest of it. That's the movement. That's clear. So, anything that thought has put together or imagines or does is a material process. That is our consciousness. The content of our consciousness are the result or the products of thought.
It is thought.
Huh?
It is.
Product. Keep to that. So, the content makes for consciousness. And consciousness is the content. Right? Now, thought is limited.
What? Please, will you please go into this statement a little more? Just
Thought
break it
is
down.
limited because it's based on knowledge. Right? Knowledge being the past, modified through the present, and carrying on. So thought is limited, time bound. It is thought is the process of time measure. So it is inevitably fragmented. Right?
Right.
Not theory. Moment you say next, you're not penetrating into yourself. You're just moving ideas.
No, I'm not saying next.
All right. So, senses, when they are fragmentary, is a movement of thought in time and measure. I say that when I only taste one thing and not related to the whole, then it's fragmentary. Is there such thing as being totally, can there be such thing as when the senses, all the senses are totally awake? Get it? Huh? Getting something? Do you get it, capture it? So, when the senses are totally awakened, when there is, no, not awakened, when you look at the sea with all your senses, then there is no fragmentation. Then consciousness as the movement of time and measure, as the me, is not. What does he do? Your computer, come on, sir.
I can see the first thing, or thought being the material process, consciousness being the product of thought. But the other thing, unless I see it for myself, I don't know.
Have you looked at anything with all your senses?
I think so, yes.
Huh?
Yes, in the past sometimes.
No.
Not now.
Yesterday we were walking on the beach. Did you see the moonlight with all your senses?
Material process.
No. I'm asking that question to him, which means you, sir. We watched that moonlight on the water. See, did you see it with all your senses, or only with part? Because you're talking, you're looking, you follow? Never with all your senses.
I don't think.
Huh?
No, I don't think I did it.
No. Do it and find out what happens.
How do you do this?
No, not how.
So how?
Then you get into the thought process.
It is important.
When you say do it,
How does one?
even that doing it becomes itself an
No,
distraction.
I'm doing it in the sense,
It is not happening.
That's
That's
it.
one can
Look
say.
at that tree, you don't have to go down to the sea. Look at that tree with all your senses.
So, but this is like a
So then it
thought.
should be-
How does one? This is
No how.
Sir,
we
No,
understand.
you will see it instantly when you see thought is fragmented.
That sense is also as fragmentary. Is the thing which
I'm
was said
telling
today.
you, please, when you see thought as is a movement of fragmentation, and the operation of partial senses, which is thought, is also fragmented. When you see the actuality of it, the other comes. You'll see it.
it should happen now.
It should be
Why
Of
wait
course.
for 3 or
That's
this?
the-
Of course,
Something is
but
happening.
you are not listening. That's all I'm objecting. You are not
What
saying,
does it
by
mean?
Jove, first of all, is it true?
Is it the fragmentary movement of the senses which
You
Happy-
agree? You agree? Movement, any
the fragmentary movement is the pain, the pleasure, etc.,
which is thought.
which is thought.
Thought is material process.
Yes.
So senses are material process.
No,
course,
but
of course,
yes, of course.
No,
But
therefore-
no, what I am saying is, so it is the fragmentation which is producing thought.
No. Thought has fragmented itself.
The fragmentary movement of the senses
Is thought.
is thought.
And therefore, go on.
Yes.
So all thought is fragmented.
As all thought is fragmentary, of
And
course.
moment you admit that, not admit it, moment you see
it.
that, then what takes place? I think, remember we were talking the other day. Is there matter apart from thought? Or the very description of a rock makes matter?
At first sight, it seems evident that there is a rock independent of thought.
Wait, I know, of course. But am I looking at it as a rock?
Well, then it becomes a part of reality.
No, sir, just a minute. I'm asking you a question, different question. There is the rock. Rishi, where we talk, see the rock. The very description of it
Is matter.
is matter.
Yeah.
Hmm? So matter is the rock independent of the matter which thought has created. Or, you follow? Or there is only rock and no matter which thought has created. Huh?
No, when I recall that rock now in my mind,
No. Look, we said matter cannot be described.
that's evident.
And that's tremendously important.
Yeah.
Matter cannot.
Matter
Cannot
cannot
be
be
described.
described.
No.
Moment you describe it, it is matter.
Then why do you say matter cannot be described? If it is matter, by the very description of it,
I am saying, people, because they are trying to find out what is matter.
but you just now made a statement. Matter cannot be described.
That's all.
And you said everything that is described is matter.
Yeah, that's all.
Now take these two sentences together.
We can perhaps put it this way, that what is cannot be described. The moment you describe it, it becomes matter.
That is it.
Put it that way, I don't care. As long as you get them, huh?
Some descriptions are correct while others are incorrect.
They are not completely correct, never. You see, that's the point. Even, you see, a scientist describing matter, he knows very well that he should know very well that he will never be able to grasp the whole matter. Because if he could grasp the whole matter, then he could create matter. Then thought would be the rock. So the description can be either completely foolish or it can be efficient. And the scientific description today seems to be efficient. I mean, we can fly to the moon and all that stuff. But still, a scientist should know that all description is never the matter or the described.
But they know it as an outer process.
Of course. I'm talking not only the outer process, but the inward movement.
The inward movement to them.
So
The
then
senses perceive the matter, perceive, before the thought is born. That state
And
of
don't use word
experience.
thought.
It is thought that perceives matter all the time. You can use instruments, but it's still thought behind the instruments.
So, but then the incorrectness or the correctness of the description is irrelevant.
Yes.
The mind must have independent access to matter. Otherwise, it makes no sense to say that it's a correct or an incorrect.
Has mind independent action?
No access to
Access. Otherwise, how do you? Yes.
Otherwise,
exactly.
it makes no difference whether a statement is
What are you
correct
saying,
or
sir? I didn't hear the first part.
if there are correct descriptions and incorrect descriptions of things or objects, then it must be the case that the mind has an independent access or knowledge of that which is described.
Therefore, would
No,
you?
then it makes no sense to say.
Would you say?
Is there any correct description at all?
No. Is there correct and incorrect description? There is only description. You may describe it one way, say it is incorrect.
But so there is correct description and incorrect description. The way to the kitchen, there is a correct way of describing it, and there is a
Yes, correct, and a wrong way of describing, but that's a different matter.
That's a different thing.
So then,
But,
as far as this case is concerned,
We are talking, look, let's be clear, right? I don't have to go into it again. Clear?
clear.
Right.
But just it should be it casts some light on the way we examine a problem. If we tackle it in the way of correctness or incorrectness,
All right,
then we get off the track.
tackle it correct, incorrect way.
then you get off the track, sir. If one goes into descriptions, whether descriptions are correct or incorrect.
Now, wait a minute.
But that's very, very, very,
Look,
it has a lot of mileage, that problem.
Radhikaji, please just listen. Listen. Don't conclude, but just listen. When all the senses are awakened in fullness, there is no consciousness, right? Have you listened to that?
Yes.
Now, have you made an abstraction of it?
No.
Therefore, there needs no description.
Yes.
Huh? Not incorrect or correct.
Right.
So it's a matter of your listening.
Right.
Huh? Right?
Right.
That's all. If you listen, then there is no need for further description. But when you make an abstraction of what you have listened to, then begins the incorrect, correct. I wonder.
Yes.
That's all.
See, why does the mind always want to do something to this? It is happening. It listens and it makes it into abstraction because it wants to use that abstraction
Of course.
for something.
Yeah. Abstraction because I'm not listening to what you're saying.
But what I don't understand, sir, is the statement of either seeing or listening with all the senses. Are they really the senses that we are listening or seeing with?
No. But you must listen. Let's begin. How do you listen?
Listen in ordinary sense with this sense, of course.
You listen with the senses, right?
Yes.
All the nervous responses,
Yes,
etc. But do you listen with all your senses awakened or only one part of it awakened?
Normally I listen with only one
That's
part awakened.
That's all. Now, if you listen with all your senses,
Yeah, then I question whether it is the senses are there.
no, I think not just move step by step.
Yes.
With all your senses, is there any need for description?
No, there is no need.
Therefore, which means
that.
what? No word.
No word.
There's
No.
communication takes place when I listen completely in all my senses. There's no abstraction
No.
as
yes.
an idea,
And no word.
no words. Which means what? Word, description, thought, content, consciousness.
Everything.
That's all. I'll stick to this. Show me. Show me wrong. I'd like to discuss this seriously. Where am I off the mark? Ghanshyam, where am I off the mark? So what we have said so far, where is it unreasonable, unlogical, fanciful, not accurate? Because we are dealing with accuracy, right? Right? With precision. That is, thought is a material process. And therefore time, measure. Whatever thought has put together is in this field. Mathematics, gods, religions, everything is in this field. Right? And thought is fragmented. Right? Thought can never be non-fragmentary. Right? So, any solution within this field, politics, is still fragmentary. Therefore, there is no answer to this. Right? Do we see this, or is it an idea? Or you, listening to this, make an abstraction of it into an idea, and with idea listen. You follow? So where am I at the end of it? Where are you at the end of it? At the end of it, I hear this, and I say, is everything then matter? You understand?
May I go into that question from the physical point of view?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
In the investigation of matter, as a physicist, I mean, you start with the rock, you describe the rock.
He's a physicist, so good.
Then, as the next step, you split up the rock, you see it's composed of molecules. You go to the atoms, and then the problem starts, you see. Because then when you describe the atoms, you find out that the describer and the experimentator is not independent anymore of the description. So, of the described.
I haven't understood that part.
When you see a physicist, when he investigates into something, he sets up an experiment. And in a crude experiment, just as measuring a rock, for example, that's very, very simple, you know. He sees the limit of error because the scale, you know, is very inaccurate. So this is very simple. But now, at the atomic level, where he wants to find out what is going on in the atom, becomes very, very difficult, because his tool must be of the order of the atom.
Which is not.
Which it isn't. Therefore, whatever he is doing from that moment on, from the atomic level and the subatomic level, whatever he is doing, he is interfering with the atom. You see, if I want to see the atom, I can only see the atom if there is an interaction between the atom and my eye or my thought. So the interaction is produced by another particle. But that particle already changes the atom.
So the observer changes the atom.
That's it.
This is the Heisenberg principle.
No, sir, this is very important.
Yes.
This,
Yes.
right?
Therefore,
Right. Fritz, a whole minute.
Yeah.
The observation of the atom. In the very process of observation, the atom begins to change.
Yes.
Right.
Which means what? Listen carefully. Which means I observe fear.
Mm-hmm.
If there is an observer, fear remains.
Of course.
If there is no observer, fear begins to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
No, sir, I did not see the connection between these two.
No, explain.
May I explain this?
Huh?
May I explain what Fritz is saying? There is a principle, Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty. It says you cannot observe a system without disturbing it. At the atomic stage, what happens is, to see anything, light must bounce off it and come to your eyes. Because the particle is so small, when you're watching it, when light is bouncing on it, it's disturbing it, you see.
Quite right. That's just it, sir.
So it is disturbing it while watching. But what you are saying is that when you watch fear, there is an end to fear.
Of course.
Yet the system is disturbed.
Yes, the disturbance indicates I can't do anything about it. Therefore, we'll go, that's clear. What are you going to say?
What is that state? What is that state in which fear dissolves?
What is it when there is no observer?
What is the state when there is no observer?
You can't describe it. Then it becomes matter. Then you are back again.
So I want to push it a little, if I may. I don't want to accept it. What is the state?
Use a different word than state. State implies static. Right?
What is the field?
Movement, or what it is.
What is the field?
Feeling of what?
When the observer is not. What is?
Field.
There is only what is.
Now, at this
And to
stage,
observe what is without the observer
But what-
makes the change.
no, but
As the atom,
no,
I'm getting something very
I would like to go
which
I
I've
must
said years. Go on.
But
I'm
let
only
us go
delighted.
into this really. Sir. you say to observe something without the observer.
Can you do it first of all?
Well, you know, it's no use by
Not
saying
to.
yes and it's no use by saying no. So I won't make any comment on it. If you can, when there is no observer and you are observing fear without the observer, then fear ends. This is what is this statement. Now, the very fact of the observer being not, neither the observer is nor the fear is.
No, Prabhu, just a minute, just a minute. Is there,
After all,
can I observe you without the observer? Wait a minute, I'm taking fear, leave it for a moment. Can I observe anything without the observer?
yes, sir. I'll
Huh?
say yes.
When does that take place?
Sitting here, it takes place.
No, wait a minute, people, don't be so easy. Don't be so
it
quick.
happens. It happened just now, 2 minutes
Which
ago.
is what? When there is no, just a minute, Prabhu, just go slow. I can observe you or Radhaji because I'm indifferent. Wait.
We're not talking about
Wait,
difference.
I'm finished. No senses are involved, no feelings are involved, no man-woman relationship is involved. I just observe, which is quite different.
that is-
But when it is inside me, which is burning,
No,
can I
that's-
look without the observer?
Right. When I'm listening to you, you are not a person who doesn't evoke very strong responses. When there is an observation of you, just now, I've been observing and listening to every word you say,
I know, I watched it.
but I've been also hearing everything that
I
you've been
agree.
going around.
I agree so much.
I've been
I understand
observing
that.
every person who's been sitting
That
here.
means what? Your senses are fully awakened.
No, but I want to say that.
This is very
Now,
important.
In that state, there is just this.
Why do you want to describe it?
No, when you say when the observer observes fear, when the observer is no, you put it that way. When the observer is absent,
When the observer is not,
and
only
the
observation
is of fear.
No, when the
You said
observer... Listen.
Observation
When-
of fear. That's why.
Yeah, I'm coming back. There is fear.
Observation.
There is fear in me. I observe. Is it possible to observe fear, which is a terrible thing to me, without the observer? I can do this sitting down here, listening to you, or to Peter, then that's simple matter. When there is deep sorrow, deep fear, the demand of great urgency of pleasure, can I watch it without? Can there be watching without the observer?
That's major. Because fear swamps you.
That's just it. Fear swamps you, fear destroys you, fear makes you ugly, brute, all the rest.
But Krishna, that's an interesting point now. I have listened to you, and you said the observer, when there's full observation, there's no fear, and also fear and all that is a material process which is fragmentary. I have stored this in my memory. Now I have fear. Now I recall this from my memory.
And then that's not fear. That's not fear.
That's not fear. Then
It's only recollection of a thing past.
Mhm.
That's not fear.
No. I say when I'm afraid.
That's it.
When I'm afraid, I'm really afraid. But in some split second, when the fear fades away a little bit, I remember thought is fragmentary.
No.
No, can I go into it? Because then you see, it's of course it's a difference between that logical arguing and so on, because it has nothing to do with the insight. But can that knowledge, can that bring about the insight in that moment?
Insight is quite. That's right, sir. His question is, Prabhu, just a minute. He says.
Can knowledge bring about insight?
No. He is asking, I think, that when there is fear, can one start the process of inquiry,
That's
which
right.
will
Not after
Dissolve
fear has
fear.
ended and
yes,
I have no
and that
fear.
brings about the
That's all wrong. No.
Can
There is insight of fear instantly when there is no observer. The absence of the me is the capacity to have insight. Right? Me,
That's
my consciousness.
And with all of
When there is no material process as consciousness going on, when there is none of that, there is insight. That insight is instant action. That's all.
But fear is the enlargement of self.
Fear won't allow you. Huh?
So no, I think it's very self-contradictory state.
Where is that, sir?
No observer, because fear is very enlargement.
Of course. So I'm said that, sir. Is it possible to observe fear without the observer?
I think
Right.
I think what you were saying is fear creates the observer.
Are you saying that?
Enlargement.
Self becomes, so it's so much more difficult to.
That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Can you observe those curtains?
this is quite true. Fear creates the observer.
Huh?
Fear is born of the observer and also
Very
creates.
nature is.
I'm questioning it. I want to know what. No, I won't accept it so easily. That is there fear without the word? Is there? Right. Does the word make the fear? So, fear is independent of the word. Right? Are you sure? So you are saying there is fear irrespective of the description of the word. Is that so? I'm not saying it's so. I want. Then is it fear? If the word is not the thing, right? And the thing is independent of the word, is there that thing called fear?
whether it is fear or not, it is a fragmentary.
I'm asking, stick to one thing.
No, it is not fear, but
No, dear, you haven't understood. I have fear. I want to find out if the word has made it.
yes, the word has.
Word, memory,
Yes.
past, knowledge, experience, which is all the
Yes.
verbalization.
Otherwise, there is.
Therefore, the word has made the fear. Or is fear independent of the word? Memory, recollection, past fears, past associations of fears, and the whole verbalization of fear.
Of
That's
course,
only
that
one
is.
section. That's only one section of
That's
fear.
tremendous.
And
Fear has got depths and vastnesses and
Yeah.
darknesses.
Don't I know it? We all know it.
Then, sir,
Then, can you remain with it? Not move away from its limit. Because our tendency is to rationalize it, all the rest of it. To remain with that thing which is not the product of word, and the word hasn't created it. And does it exist without the word? If it exists without the word, am I deceiving myself because I want to be free of it? Therefore, I verbalize, and so on, so on. Can I look at that fear without any verbalization, without any recollection of past fears,
may I,
therefore remain completely with it?
sir, may I say something? When fear is,
Yeah.
no observation is possible.
Huh?
No observation is possible.
I'm not sure.
I'm making this.
I know. We say observational. I'm not at all sure.
It's only
I'm not at all
2 seconds later that
I
and
know.
during that very burst of fear,
You've
When
had
you are
sorrow.
quoting
We all have had sorrow. Of some.
Sorrow is the same thing as
I move a little bit.
quality, because it is.
So, can you remain with that feeling? Totally verbless, verb, verbless, which is non-action, and wordless, and never remain. Huh?
That's nature. It's like a tidal wave.
Huh?
You can't remain.
Why not?
It's like a
I know, why not? Is that our tradition, our conditioning, our habit that says it's gone immediately? We're off.
These are two things which are the most powerful elements in one's lives.
What?
These are the two factors which are the most powerful things in our lives.
I know this very well. We all know this very well. That's why we have never gone beyond them. We never say, I won't move. There won't be no movement of thought. The word, the description, the escape, the analysis, nothing, just remain.
The feeling one gets when there is a sense of evil, for instance.
Huh?
The feeling one gets when there is a sense of evil. I'm just putting it to you.
Evil.
I mean,
What are you talking about evil?
the feeling which it evokes is fear. And you get a sense of evil.
Fear, remain with that. See, that is, I am telling you something, Kapur. The observer is the movement of time. Right? Movement of thought. Movement of the past. Right, sir? Huh? Can that movement stop? Which means no observer. And we are going off to something I didn't get involved. I want to discuss this matter business. Because, see,
Where is matter in this state?
because we said thought is matter.
Maybe I just can make a link between what we have just been saying. It is thought is a material process.
Thought
It's matter.
Thought is material process, better than matter.
Yeah. Mhm. So now, all the conditioning has made that.
Yes. All our conditioning is
that.
that.
Now, a statement may be made by somebody, maybe by you, which is true. What is the effect of that statement on the brain?
On the brain, if it listens, the effect is instantaneous.
Mm-hmm. And that effect is on matter.
No. Wait a minute. The description is matter.
Mm-hmm.
Verbalization, thought, memory.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen without the description,
Mm-hmm.
aren't you listening with all your senses?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Yes.
Then that insight is instant action.
Mm-hmm.
Finished.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying? Now listen, I lie. I explain it, run away from it, do all kinds of things to cover it up, and I'm frightened, or the rest. Now to remain with that completely, without saying lie or truth, or how should not have done it, etc. Just to remain with it. See what happens. You don't do it. Do it. See what takes place. Extraordinary thing takes place. It's a non-movement of thought. Therefore, it has gone beyond.
You see, Krishnaji, I see it's very important to make the distinction between material process and matter.
Yes, I agree. Wait, it's important, Prabhu, because go on, sir, you explain it a little more. We'll all see in a minute.
Material process, that means cause and effect, movement in time and space.
From here to there and all the
yes.
rest of it.
And matter, I'm not talking now about the description of matter.
Matter.
But of matter is something which we don't know.
Cannot be described.
Cannot be described.
Is there such thing?
I say yes, there is.
Of course there is.
What is it?
Rock.
Human body.
Yes.
You can. That
yes,
makes
human body.
You can.
Of course.
Keep on adding. Human body is exactly.
Yeah.
The brain itself.
The brain itself is matter. Is a movement in matter.
So when you
I
say
know.
is there
No,
something
wait
else?
a minute, Popo. Wait a minute.
When
Look
you
at
say
it.
is there something else?
I'm going. You're missing my point. Just hold. Hold a minute. If the brain is material put together by material process in the cell, which is they all acknowledge with their teeth, can that brain cell stop functioning in the movement, in its movement? You follow what I'm trying?
That is a legitimate question.
Which means, may I go on a little bit? Which means wait a minute, let's get this clear. I must be clear with myself. I got something. Which is to remain with a fact. The moonlight on the water was extraordinarily beautiful. To remain with the fact of that beauty without a single movement of thought. Move away from it. To remain with it. There, the brain cell doesn't interfere. Right? Huh?
The groove of the brain cell.
Yeah, the groove, it doesn't matter. We'll go into detail later. The brain doesn't operate there when you remain totally watching that moonlight on that water. And from that observation, which is silence, to describe using the words, that light is the truth. Am I right? You understand what I'm saying? To speak out of silence. Whatever is said out of that silence is truth. I stick to it. Do you understand that?
May I question that?
Just a minute, I want to ask him what he says. You don't understand it? Huh? Right, sir. Let me. Ghanshyam, I want to find out if everything is matter, right? Everything, whatever it creates, love, sex, demands, everything it creates is a material process, right? The fan, the curtains, the desires, everything, right? Therefore, we live in a fragmentary world and act in a fragmentary way. And therefore there's conflict. Now, one wants to find out if there is a way of living without conflict, which is to remain, to observe without the observer, because there is no division there. When there is a division, there is conflict. That's simple. When there is no observer, there is only what is. Right? Therefore, no conflict. Therefore, consciousness, as we know, is not. Right? Can you speak out of that which is not consciousness, as we know, something which will always be true? You follow what I'm saying? Not changeable according to environment. Like in mathematics, whatever you do is inalterable. Right? No man can alter it. 2 and 2 4, no amount of chicanery can alter it. So it is inalterable law. Right? So the mind, the brain, is now completely orderly if it is not operating in that field. Right? Now, whatever is spoken out of that complete orderliness is truth. Must be, of course. Two and two is 4. That is irrevocable. Right? Now proceed from there. You understand what I'm talking about? When there is love, that is inalterable by man. Right? But when there is no love, we can alter it. Say, I love you, darling, because I sleep with you, I have money, you are dead, all the blah takes place. When there is a statement which is completely irrevocable, as 2 and 2 make 4, that is truth. 2 and 2 is truth, right? That's all. Have I made something clear? I'm clear myself, I'll battle all of you, come on.
Krishnaji, I think one must question it in that sense. As in mathematics, you can say 2 and 2 is 4.
Irrevocable. You can break up the apples into 10 parts, but two apples don't make 5. 2
yes,
and 2.
But you see the numbers 2 and 2 is not what you are saying. It's not the law. You can make up completely different numbers, but of course 2 and 2 apples make always 4 apples.
That's all I'm
but
saying.
You see, that's the underlying thing. Another person who does not see that, it's the same thing from the silent mind.
No, I don't want to enter the silent mind, because I want, if anything is said in complete order, that is truth. 2 and 2 make 4. That is truth. That's the law. That is irrevocable. Because it is supreme order. When there is supreme order in you, whatever you say is truth. Something marvelous I'm finding out.
Does the brain, brain cell, which contains within itself the source of disorder?
As long as thought is operating, it must be disorder.
Which contains the source of disorder. Has it the capacity to see itself in disorder?
Oh yes.
This is the
Of course it has. Good Lord, if I know I'm lying, I know I'm lying. It's disorder.
No, sir, you must see this difference. To see 2 and 2 equals 4 does not affect my life.
No, of course not. It does.
It affects my life, sir.
It affects my life profoundly, because that is absolute, irrevocable order.
We'll accept that order. We accept that order. No one will say it makes 6.
No.
So we'll
5, yeah.
We'll accept it as order. But when you come down to a psychological process,
That's what I'm talking mostly about.
can the brain cell, which is itself the source of that psychological process, observe
Yes.
without the observer?
Yes.
And see?
But that needs.
And that's the crucial point.
Yeah,
Because
quite
it would
right.
mean ending of the brain cell structure, the movement of the brain cells, what it exists for, sir.
What is that, sir?
This is repeatedly I've come to this point.
What is that, sir? Repeat it.
Sir, all these problems start because the brain demands security in the known.
Of course.
All the whole process of thought memory.
Of course.
Everything. This whole movement.
All
which is
relationship,
modified,
everything.
Movement which is modified. The
Go
whole
on, sir.
thing.
Go on, sir. That's right.
What you are saying is that those same brain cells must face fear or sorrow which might end their own existence. Sir.
Yes. Yes.
Their existence being this movement into security.
Yes.
right?
That's right.
So that's what I'm
saying.
questioning.
How
That-
can
No, I don't say how.
No,
okay, not
wait,
now.
wait,
I
wait.
don't say how.
Go on. Finish it. I get.
So, sir, how is it possible for the same
Brain.
organism to see something which it knows, which it feels is a tremendous threat to its existence?
As Fritz explained, when the atom is observed, the atom changes.
But you have to observe that.
No, no,
I'm
sir,
saying-
Wait.
This is all out.
Wait. Give me 2 minutes. When he says, which we have discussed so much in the program, so on, when the observer watches, there is change. But when there is no observer, the change is not. Wait a minute. When there is no observer, the brain cells don't operate as the observer.
Yes, but the question is. No, but the question is.
Wait. I just want to get clear in myself what I have said.
That's all right.
No. I have said something which I haven't understood. When there is an observation as the observer, that the observer affects the cell, the atom, so on. The observer affects the cell. The observer follows the pattern of the cell.
So the observer is the cell.
That's why he's still repeating the pattern. Wait, I want to, there's something I want to get capture, which I'm there. I must go into this. When the cells are in operation, then they can only operate in time, in measure, time and material process. They can only operate in that groove, which is the observer is the groove.
Yes.
So the cells are always moving in that groove. But when there is no observer, wait, let me finish. When there is no observer, the cells have changed.
Yes.
Got it?
No, but sir.
Wait. Keep it. I'm coming to you in a minute. Please, I want to be clear with this. When the cells are operating in a groove, the groove being the observer.
Yes.
When there is no observer, the cells don't operate in the groove.
But the cells don't allow this state of no observer.
What?
The cells which are moving in this groove will not allow that state.
It will allow it. Because you have heard it with all your senses.
But again, sir, why are the senses not fully awake?
I have come into because we are conditioned. We have never thought about it. We have never looked at anything. We have never looked at a beauty. It's always limited.
See,
But are you saying that the senses are made awake as a process of time?
No.
Looking at things. No. So the senses are not awake. Why are they not awake, sir? Why have you not fully awake?
Because nobody has said watch it. Everybody said to you control senses. Your conditioning has been controlled. Somebody else comes along and says, don't control but observe with all your senses. To move from the conditioning to non-conditioning is the battle. Right?
Yes,
Right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute. Why is there the battle? The conflict between this and that. Because the brain cells, you follow? But if you listen with all your senses the same, brain cells don't operate. Therefore,
Sir, in you they might not operate, but they're operating in very subtle ways, sir.
of course. But you see this, that is, the brain cells operate always in the group, because that's the
That-
safest.
Safety, sir, that I can see, and I can also
Wait, but also you can see what he's saying.
Yes.
When there is no observer, there is a fundamental movement going on, right?
But that to me is theory, sir.
Oh,
I can even see that there is security.
not a theory. He says you can see that under a microscope.
Yes, sir, you have said
And the
that.
material thing.
Yes.
But
It's the
when
same
we
thing.
just put
Psychological.
into the psychological.
I'm talking of psychologically.
That is the problem.
I am talking
You-
of psychology.
Mathematically, you can feel. That's why it's so sometimes. Forgive me if I become a little dangerous to bring in mathematics.
No. I would. Well,
Well, I tell you,
I-
the two processes are entirely different. You tell me to walk to that house. I have all the conditioning. I can drop the conditioning and walk to that house.
It's physical memory and psychology.
But
I've said to you right from the beginning, many years ago, when there is no observer, there is a radical change in the very structure of the thing which you call
we
fear.
discussed the numbers.
Sir, you've also said, sir, that there is no security in this, there is security in intelligence.
Yes.
I can see that also, sir, but this movement doesn't start. Why? I don't think it's so easy that
Of course
tremendous
not.
conditioned responses which are in the subconscious and in the
So,
below that.
the very interaction between you and us takes this particular process only. In its own way, this groove changes its path, but it remains a groove even while listening to you. And you are saying you listen, but it doesn't. It is not occurring. So,
What am I to do? No. Why doesn't it happen? Look, somebody comes along and says, that is the most dangerous path. The groove is the most dangerous path. The precipice is the most dangerous. That you have accepted. Because physically you can see how dangerous it is.
Right.
You refuse to see the psychological danger of that, as you definitely see the precipice.
No,
Huh?
actually, you're cutting off your own head.
Oh, cut your leg off.
Head.
Oh, cut it off.
I agree with Papa. This is exactly what it is.
Of course, put it 10 different ways.
So seeing that psychological danger is the ending of your existence, sir. Because your
Are you
existence
wait?
is,
But are you existing now?
yes, sir. In a very unawakened sense, but there is some security in that. It's no one is
All right.
everything is right.
There is some security in that, which is being denied all the
Of course,
time.
and intellectually you can see there is no security also. But it's not seen with the same force which transforms you. That once and for all it's over.
So what shall we do?
So why does this happen, sir? One can see the danger of the precipice in the cobra, which are also conditioned responses. I think-
So you have discovered, you only will act if there is conditioning going on.
this is what is happening.
So somebody comes along and says, both are insecure. Right? Right?
so both meaning.
See, there is insecurity in conditioned response.
I am a nationalist, that's a conditioned response. And there's danger in that. That's all.
I can free myself of the conditioning of nationalism. I've never been affected by it, but not from other conditioning. Unless one is totally free of this conditioning, which is very, very subtle and deep, one cannot see the danger in that.
That is.
And then,
So
And
You
sir, how
only
can
see
it
the
happen
danger.
instantly?
You only see the danger when it's conditioned. Precipice cobra.
Yes. Yes.
No, sir, it is.
Wait, let me finish. This, so you only function happily or whatever when they're both conditioned. Hmm? So what does that indicate?
No,
What does it indicate? That you only operate
In groups.
mechanically.
In groups, yes, clearly. Now what I'm saying.
No, only operate mechanically.
Yes.
Now somebody else, you come along, tell me, see the danger, the enormous danger of mechanically acting. In that there is no love, in that nothing.
But there is, in that seeing, it's a very partial seeing, sir, obviously.
I would say that I'm saying go a little step further.
Huh?
When a voice like yours says this, which is the voice of truth, because behind it is silence. For that instant, there is silence.
Then what?
Then
Back again to go.
10 days later,
2 minutes later.
not 2 minutes later, it may not happen 2 minutes later, but 10 days later, something happens.
And you're back
And
again.
storm of fear.
I know.
And you say, and you feel caught in a storm. And I don't say, I say if one would take the storm along with this at the same level, the storm is the storm. What else can you do?
I don't know.
Tell me, sir, what can an individual do? To understand.
You see, people, when the whole of our consciousness is the product of thought, and we are still operating in that area, just a minute, there is no hope. Wait. But you won't get out of that area. What is one to do?
You see, sir,
No, just
see,
answer
sir,
me.
theoretically I can tell you that I've gone deep, I've understood, I had moments of great silence. I can say all these things. But I know deep within myself that there is a part of me which is still clinging on like a leech.
I know. We all know.
This is the point, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
deep down, there are subtle ways of being conditioned, deep ways, instinctive conditioning, sir. Because
Wait till they come up. Don't now say they are still there, therefore let them come up and deal with it.
The mind sees the threat to its own existence, so it doesn't want to end.
No, madam, no. You're already presupposing what you will do. Right? I should wait till they come.
they are much stronger.
Wait till they come. Don't already say much stronger.
Sir, but they do come unawares when you are.
Then hold it. Then when you're unaware it comes, hold it there.
So you have to be fully awake the whole time, sir.
Well,
Yes.
no, that's the most dangerous thing to say.
Say
I
that
say-
again, sir.
How, sir?
That's the most dangerous thing to say.
Right?
No, sir, I don't understand this, sir.
Yes, because then you want an instant solution.
So, this comes upon you when you.
Then capture it, sir.
It's too
Then
late
leave
by
it.
that, sir.
All right, pick it up next. You see, you're standing there
So-
waiting to.
No, so one must be fully awake, so why do you.
Huh?
But you are not fully awake, so
No.
stay where you are.
Because you want a
That's
one-shot
not- that's
solution, that's it.
No. Is to prepare yourself and guard yourself being awake.
No, I don't know what is awake. I'm
That's
saying
just
that.
it.
It is inattention on the contrary.
No, I'm this is what I mean by awake. To be totally free of conditioning, you have to be totally alive to your conditioning. Which comes, and the deep subconscious conditioning comes upon you when you are.
See, somebody may do something to me in 2 years' time, 5 years' time. Rajgopal, around there. Oh, I don't know, but I'll wait. I'm not saying, my God,
No,
what?
sir. No,
When
he does something,
wait,
what happens?
then I'll meet it.
And what happens in the interval? Sir?
What? Nothing.
It doesn't exist.
See, we are trying to meet something which is at this moment not acting with us. I think yes.
You know, at
See.
Rishi Valley, those boys, the upper class, they say, what shall we do, sir? I said, your parents have sent you. You prepare yourself now. Decide in 5 years' time. Don't bother what's going to happen, what you should do now. 5 years. Prepare yourself to be intelligent, so as in 5 years later, you will do the right thing. Right?
I understand it. May I go back to it? When you say do nothing, there is no one.
What am I to do? What am now? I see.
This one is watchful. One goes back to that.
Wait, I see. What am I to do? What may happen from that man in Nohai?
Obviously, you can't do anything.
Wait.
But what happens?
Wait. What should be?
But that is, it's happening all the time, sir. There's no interval. For you, there might be an interval.
Is there no interval?
No, sir.
What do you mean no interval?
What happened?
It's happening all the time?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Isn't it? I'd like to go into it. Isn't it happening?
Is it happening in the sense, in the unconscious?
Yes.
Yeah. In the unconscious. So, what do? Oh, so tell me. If it is happening in the unconscious, that is hidden, what do? Either pull it all out or let it lie and see that it doesn't interfere now. If it interferes now, then you are with it. I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
So, but what does that pull it out mean?
Take it out. Say, for instance, if it is, I'm afraid, deep down in me, I'm afraid of something. I can't do anything about it. I can investigate, I can analyze, but that won't do. So, it will operate at a given moment, right? Then I say, right.
And that is right, that is the other thing you said. But you said pull it out or either or.
Of course.
The other I understand, that when it comes you
Deal with it.
But what is this pull it out?
Pull it out and say, watch for it. Watch for it. When you're walking, looking. See, it's a moment you want it out, it comes out all right. Huh?
What happens at night, sir?
Oh, that's
Because there is a dream, which is a subconscious coming out, and there is a response to it also, which is conditioned response.
So either the dreams of biological dreams, lack of sleep, and superficial dreams, which have no value at all. But if there are deeper dreams, what are they?
So dreams are
Deeper dreams, taking symbolic form, which have to be translated by the conscious mind, by a professional or by yourself, right? Would you dream, I'm asking, I'm not saying you should not, would you dream if during the day you let it, invite it, come up? It'll operate very quickly when you're, say you really want to let it come out, don't force it, but do something else, look at that, it'll come out. I don't know if you've watched this. You understand what I'm saying? Do you?
So go on a little. This is very interesting.
You cannot invite it. It's too deep. Conscious might say, I want to get into this, but you can't. So what do? You want them out. That's
Yes.
your. You want them out. So, but if you're all the time watching, it won't come out. But the seed has been sown that you want to expose them, right? So when you're not thinking about it, walking, it'll come out. Then deal with it. But the seed must be sown, live seed, not a theory seed. Seed that says, I must have all this out. What time is it? Jesus.
11:05.
Leave it open so it's hot.
Could we keep up that question of matter again? Because that we haven't even scratched.
I'd like to find out.
What is, if I may ask one question, in your delving into matter, what is it that you are trying to reveal to us?
What?
In your delving into matter, what is it that you're trying to reveal to us?
Because I see that tree and that rock. They're all life, energy and all the rest of it. Are they different from me?
But no delving into matter.
I am matter. My thoughts are material process.
If I may say,
yeah.
No delving into matter is going to remove the separation.
I'm not sure.
Please
Just a minute. Look, I want to know myself. Wait, people, just a minute. I want to know myself. Myself is put together by thought, which is matter.
But I can call it matter.
It doesn't matter. I put it this way. I stick to what I'm saying. Thought is material process, etc., etc. That's me.
Yes.
And I look around that street. What's the difference between me and that?
As far as my human body is concerned, nothing.
No.
Sir, then you must see
much
this.
deeper than that.
So you go, let's not bring in the tree.
What's the difference between me and you? I'm doing the same. I'm coming to that. What's the difference between me and you? You're a woman. I'm a man. At least I think I'm a man. We think there is this difference in sexes, difference in body construction, different in shape and so on and so on. Is that all? Or is there a fundamental difference? Wait, is the fundamental difference created by thought? Or is there actually no difference at all psychological?
No, of that, with one's own self-knowing, one can say that it is a process of thought.
Huh?
Fact finds
I understand. No. Thought thinks it is factual. That's the difference. It is not actual as
two
that.
states. A state of silence.
No.
Please listen to me. A state of silence and a state when this is operative.
What are you trying to say? Silence and when it's not?
No, there's either a state of silence.
When the self is not?
Yes. Or when the state of...
Of course, we all know this.
And
But
no,
as most of us operate in this field of non-silence,
no,
yes.
Me
Me and my mother, my family, my wife, my
how
boss,
can
king.
a knowledge of a matter end this process of this thing?
No,
I
I'm not.
study it
I
scientifically, I
really
can do anything I like.
no, because I've come. You see, Pupu, by asking what is matter, I have seen something which is anything that thought puts together is matter. But that's not matter. That tree is a living thing.
But so is my human body.
Of course.
doesn't solve that problem.
What problem?
The problem
Of the area of thought.
of
That's
the
all.
area where you go.
Yes, the area of thought. That hasn't stopped.
When there is mind in yours.
Yes? So I say,
That's it.
can you, I've said enough.
Yes, I think it stops.
See, I wouldn't leave it alone. I would never leave it alone.
No, but one doesn't leave it alone.
One does. In a sense, I would never be like a watchdog.
You come tell us.
Sir, but
You
this-
I
come-
said I would be, I
Because
said,
you to listen, sir.
No, no, sir,
I
you
know what you
can't
mean.
fully
Facts,
understand.
facts, facts,
Let
facts,
me
facts.
end with this. You have said that the other has never been.
Quite right. But you haven't been listened. I say, if, which cannot be. So I said, if I were you, I would be watching like a hawk.
So isn't that being fully awake, sir? Isn't that being fully awake?
No! Watching. I never said fully awake.
With all your senses.
There is no.
I got
When you say always, then the most dangerous thing.